Hello there, Aquarius. Dadhichi here, as usual, with your month of May 2018 horoscope. And if you're new here, thanks for joining me. Hope I can throw some light on your horoscope for the coming month. We do a very brief synopsis here. I don't want to get too tedious and boring. But I'm just wondering whether you're feeling any sort of suspicion this month. If you take a look here at the 12th house of your horoscope, it is the house of secret enemies. It's the house of secrets generally. It's also the sector that relates to the sorts of activities that you perform that may undermine you or bring you undone. It's also very strongly connected with spending. Not just spending money, but spending your energy in charitable acts. And those charitable acts may have a really, really pure motive. You want to help someone on the street. But then sometimes you may also be helping the wrong people. And I think that's a very different matter. And therefore, the two keywords are suspicion and discrimination. You need to discriminate, firstly, who those people may be that may be undermining you, and secondly, who those people may be, why you're not discriminating and how you can discriminate better with this combination of planets. Saturn, Pluto, Mars, this is a destructive combination, but the 12th house also tells us a little bit about your past and how that destructive quality may have more to do with what you're doing to hang on to the past rather than what actually happened in the past. My mother had a couple of really bad years when she married 60 years ago. Tells you how old I am. It was only a 2-year marriage, but you know what? For the rest of her life, she laboured that experience. It wasn't a very pleasant experience, and I won't go into too much detail, but suffice to say, we often do that. We have an event or a series of events, a period in our life which is terrible, no doubt. But then the event passes, but guess what? In a way, the event doesn't pass. Given that we hang on to it, we keep reliving that event. We keep punishing ourselves with that event. That's this. It may get a little bit worse when Moon moves here around the 4th and activates all of these past karmic issues. 9th house, 12th house is past karma, 5th house is future karma. And of course we have the nodes here, North node being your future karma and the challenges that you're enduring, and this Ketu or past karma point transiting your sun sign now. So these are the dates when that sort of stuff can get heavy. Here we see the communication planet Mercury, a very good planet for you indeed, but a little bit unsettled, moving into the company of Uranus after the 8th. We see the close conjunction, and Moon and Neptune together in the finance sector around the 10th. These pairs of planets can unsettle you, especially when you see these right angle aspects to Venus in the 5th. But speaking of Venus in the 5th, this is lovely for your relationships, love affairs. For those of you online, you can meet someone at a distance in another country. Venus rules the 9th house of foreign areas. Also here is foreign areas. 12th house is foreign journeys. Mercury moves into this very key 4th house at the same time as the new moon takes place there, 14th and 15th and 16th. This area of your horoscope will be a very dominant theme for you in the coming 7 years. Uranus, your ruler, along with Saturn, transiting this very key foreground house. This is one of the 4 angles, 1, 4, 7, 10. Boom, boom. 4th house is your domestic sphere. New moon taking place here shows us just how significant this transit is. Everything to do with your family, your mother, and your inner well-being, depending on how well you deal with this. And it looks like around this time some better aspects are forming here. This can unsettle your thinking and your decision-making process. take care of that. But certainly the new moon here opens the way, paves the way for you to do something very, very different domestically, because Uranus is progressive, very avant-garde. These are where your thoughts are at during this specific cycle. Mars also moves at this time into your sun sign. Doesn't do that every day, so this next month or two is very, very strong, and there's an association here with Mars, the planet of your career, with your past karma point. These planetary energies converging indicate a strong drive to achieve something you'd set your mind on in the past. Maybe even the ability to move back into some role. For some of you that aren't happy in the moves you've made and you're still within the same company, you can make a shift back into a role that you're more comfortable with. And that shows us your creative, enterprising spirit here by the sun moving in the 5th house and that triangular aspect to Mars. Ordinarily, if that's a hard aspect, you can be rather militant, but this shows me you've got a lot of physical drive and energy, a lot of passion. This can play out also in your love affairs, with the 5th house being the zone of amorous pursuits. Sounds good, doesn't it? So, there's one last aspect that's going to take place right here on the 30th of the month that I'd like you to look at, and that's the full moon, which underpins what I was just talking about, your love affairs, your romance, and the 11th house here, full moon, being your social affairs, networking. Great, great combination for you at this time, although one or two of your friends may leave you high and dry. Moon rules the 6th house of enemies or debts. Be careful here. Don't assume everyone is a friend. That's interesting that we're finishing on a note that is exactly how I started for you, which is the element of suspicion and discrimination. And I think that augurs well for your friendships if you apply that discrimination, that discretion to the new acquaintances you meet, the type of people you are with. It will hold you in good stead. Look forward to your company next month. Hope that helps. Join me at astrology.com.au. There's more there on the month if you want, and lots of information on you, your family, your parenting, a lot of oracles. And I hope we can give you more good news next month for June. Here, same time, same channel. Take care. Bye for now.